You sling? You want to sling? Do you want to sling? Blah, 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 blah.
How's your mic, Thad?
Hello?
Oh, I think so. All right.
Ryan, do you want to sling?
Is this where we're going to jump right into swinging right off the bat? Episode 2.
I may be going home before you get
Our producer, Dave. I just realized right when... Well, welcome, Thad.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Thank
Thad,
you. Thank you for the sponsorship.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Conspiracy Coffee, man.
You would think CarQuest sponsors us because this is a different day, different podcast.
No more
I'm wearing the
graphic
same
tees.
shirt. I'm wearing the same shirt. I have like 500 shirts too.
Oh my gosh, I have to say something.
Okay.
I completely forgot to tell you happy birthday last week
thank
when
you.
we launched
Thank
the
you.
podcast. So
Yeah,
you're getting old. Like you got
am.
this little gray
Little gray.
thing going in. And what do you think about that, Thad?
Yeah.
Like he's got this
Looking
little
older.
gray
It was one of
patch on
the.
there.
It was one of the milestones too.
And
Yeah.
I still remember him
one
as
of those
a
coming
young juvenile.
Oh, he is. He's
A
naughty.
hula mile.
We talk about how naughty he is.
Well,
No, not that. You know, I mean, there's a difference between juveniles and juvenile delinquents. But I remember a lot of these kids
he's a
as
delinquent.
as kids.
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah,
Oh my
we
God.
probably haven't
You're
seen each other
aging
since I was a kid.
no, that's right. Yeah.
The irony is not lost. I mean, not only am I wearing the same shirt, drinking a different brand of coffee.
I know.
Let's talk
so
about
I was thinking
coffee.
about that. Yeah,
I know.
yeah, the coffee.
Well, I will admit,
Naughty.
I was bribed to try this coffee.
Oh,
I
yes.
won't get into it. But let's talk about your coffee. How did you get into the coffee business?
So I was convinced that I couldn't find a good cup of coffee around. I had been different places and actually had fresh roasted coffee, which is a huge difference. I think a lot of Americans don't really realize that coffee has a shelf life. And so once you get to somebody's place, a roastery or whatever, and you discover that there's actually a difference in coffee that is not sat on the shelf for months or years, then wow, it really kind of opens your eyes.
Yeah.
And that was it. I started sending money with people, friends, co-workers that were going anywhere near actually State College, because I found a roastery down there that I liked their coffee, and they would pick me up bags of coffee and pound bags, bring it back with them. And it got old, so I started reading about it and just kind of just said I'm going to jump into it.
Wow, I'm under no illusion that this is good coffee. I'm a bit of a coffee snob, even though I'm drinking kind of a run-of-the-mill.
Yeah, so nothing
Coffee.
personal. I'm not a real big coffee girl. I'm a water. I drink. I don't drink soda. I don't drink juice.
Well, that's better.
I don't.
That's good
yeah.
for you.
So I'm just.
I'm very
Weird.
picky. I go.
Bad. I'm
like
just
you.
weird.
You are
I've
weird.
been all over
My
it.
son's a coffee snob.
Yeah, well, I am too. I've been all over, and I don't like a lot of coffee places either. Like, I'll drink it because I drink coffee every day. I'll drink anything, obviously, but good
Yeah.
coffee is hard to come
Drink
by.
anything, do anything.
is.
Do you
naughty?
Where
We
your
talked about
where do your
that.
beans come from? Do you import them from? I mean, they're obviously from somewhere.
I have a middleman, so to speak. One of them who is a coffee broker, the other one who is a couple major companies that if you're in the coffee world, almost anybody would be familiar with. They're major importers.
They come from a specific country, a different. specific-
but between all of them, I get coffees from all over the world.
Okay.
And so it's a matter of what I can bring in, what's in. They're not all in season at the same time. Not every coffee growing country is in season at the same time. So it's a matter of like what's in, what fits the price point of our people, the
Right.
people that are around, and the coffee can be quite expensive. So, you want to find your price point. Mine is like $10-11 a pound seems to be the going rate around here.
There you go. Inside secrets. Let's get to the important question. Why did you name it Conspiracy Coffee?
Well,
Dun, dun, dun.
it's not really what you would think. It's not really a well thought out. It wasn't a thought out plan. It just kind of.
You could have lied, Dad.
I could have.
You
I could
gotta
have
make
lied.
up some kind
could
of
have
like
lied.
really
Well,
awesome story.
here's
I
what
want you to tell the story. So we kind of preached
So I was.
last time was
I'm going to get into.
Well, I
that.
feel like maybe
All right.
that's what he says though. There's no real reason, but
That leaves
there's
that
more of a
line,
conspiracy.
so
Like
if
there is
people
obviously a
don't
reason.
believe,
Yeah.
then he's got an out.
Right,
So,
right.
and I have to say, I feel a little left out. You guys got the beanie thing going on today, and
You
I'm
said you were
like
going to
into
wear
the
a hat
beanie.
today. Remember, you said you want to wear a hat, and I said
His
I'll
hair
wear
doesn't
my.
like a hat. But you got to do it. So Thad, you just I already kind of
Okay, so,
pre-teased it, and
well,
I warned everybody that we didn't think you were crazy.
I think that you have to premise everything with the idea that you're not crazy when you start talking about conspiracies.
Not here, you don't.
Not in this
I told a
room.
story about getting abducted out of my own bed last night.
He's been poked and prodded by aliens,
apparently.
man.
Yeah.
I
Did
think
you see that story? Did you hear that story?
Well, I've
caught the
obviously
little dots on his back?
I've heard a lot of stories about abduction, but I guess I haven't heard yours.
Well, I told it last time. In short, I don't remember anything.
He
All I
blew
know,
us off
I
last
woke
time.
up and I had a here. I didn't have to pull it up.
He
again.
had a
I had
he
this symmetrical rash on my back.
It wasn't even a
And
rash. It looks
it
like
wasn't even a
somebody
rash.
poked him with needles. It really
Right,
does
it's
look
very
like a needle
very
poking
symmetrical.
Thing.
It's not like a rash. And then when
See
I
how he talks over me? I'm just saying.
well, yeah, it's my only chance.
It's a free for all.
So basically when I looked it up, it was like people had the exact same rash online, and it was all on these top secret sites and everything. So
Yeah,
I shared it
Googled
with
it.
Michelle, and it always takes me forever to find this picture, but
I was going to say
it was
I thought you had
strange
right there.
though.
Yeah.
It was really weird.
So we've come to the I come to the conclusion that he's been, and they took some of his DNA, and
Maybe. And I jokingly said
he's
that
got
that
like
day.
50,000 kids in Tioga County, so why not a couple
Yeah.
up there?
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
they're
Well-
probably saying, "Oh, this specimen likes to multiply. Let's
That's
check
true.
this one out."
In case you need to restart the human race.
Yeah.
Are you ever gonna find this picture?
No,
Like-
probably not. So
Oh, well, while you're looking, let's let Thad.
yeah,
let it
tell
tell
your
his
story,
Tell
yeah.
your story, Thad.
Oh, well, okay, so I'll go back to what you want to hear, which I've relayed to a few people. But when I was a youngster, I was probably about 12 years old, and it was about probably around this time of the year. I can't be for certain, but I'm a child of the 60s, born in the 60s, child of the 70s and 80s, really. And back in that day, you always had enough snow to snowmobile, and it was. Everybody had a snowmobile, and your family members had a snowmobile. And living out in the country where I did, which is over outside of Wellsboro, we would. It was a big deal. You could get you get supper done at night, and man, you'd go on a snowmobile ride. And so, but being only 12, I went with the guys in my family. I believe that night it was three of my brother-in-laws and my father and myself, and we were riding and stopped the snowmobiles after riding for quite a length of time, as I remember, and just looking up at the sky, and we all noticed that there was something above our heads that was hovering. It had an identifiable shape, and it had flashing lights to it. And
So was it round? Was it like
No, it was-
the normal UFO-y type thing, spaceship-y?
no, it was more.
What was
It was actually more like what I would say is probably a more rectangular than anything. Yeah,
Interesting.
and lights that flashed, and I can't be specific as far as the order of the lights, but there were red and yellow and green and white lights, and they would flash one at a time, and then in a sequence, and then after a while the sequence would change, and so that was when I was 12 years old, and it was something that was seen by by myself.
Did you feel like, was it close? Did you feel like it was close?
Yeah,
to
I
you?
felt like it was. I would say something like about the distance of a low flying plane.
Small
A
plane.
plane
Wow.
that,
Yeah.
like when you see a plane that's coming over our area that would be en route to, say, the Big Flats airport, where they've started their descent.
And since you were with family and everything, how did everyone process it?
Yeah, do you guys talk about it?
Yeah, we've talked about it to this day, not a lot, but I mean, we've all said how strange it was, and talked about it, but it's something that sticks with you as a kid. That whole idea that there's something that is unknown, I think, is a really big thing, and I don't even know if it has to enter your mind as a youngster like it did in mine to stick with you. But once you see something like that, well, you're never convinced that there's not something that we
more.
don't know.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So
I was so excited for you to come in because I hadn't heard this story. She said you had a story, and I mean, that's what we love talking about, that kind of thing. We're trying to talk about the things we don't understand.
The big thing is like, especially with all the political arena going on right now, you question a lot, and especially the more and more technology gets more intelligent. I don't know if that's like the right phrasing.
I understand that.
Anyways, now there's a whole different world available, and now there's so many scammers and there's so many photoshopping and so then it adds even more. Yeah. Is it real? Is it not? Because
there's this emerging technology. Speaking of that, I just saw the other day
the Snapchat thing or whatever.
Well, it's similar to that. You know how Snapchat puts filters on your face or whatever, and you can put like silly faces, or you turn into a bunny or a dog, whatever. They have a really advanced version of that now, where they can basically take your face, President Trump's face, make it animated, and it looks like that person
talking.
is saying or something or talking, and they can completely fake it, and you can't tell the difference.
Right. I watched a news clip about that, and the technology is so strong and so amazing now that the only way even the most intelligent people out there can tell is they put a heat shield or something on it, and they can tell when it was a human because of the heat coming off, to where when it's imprinted or a fake whatever.
Yeah.
I don't even know the verbiage, but whatever.
I feel like you're just playing dumb. Now I'm suspicious of you that you even know that. That's insane.
I never watch TV, but it's that. Yeah, I told you. Okay, there's only certain things that my husband, that he watches. We watch UFO stuff on the History Channel or whatever. We watch the Animal Planet, and last night I had to get up and leave the room because lions were killing these poor cows or whatever. And I know it's the circle of life, but I don't want to. There was a little baby.
You know who else
calf
kills cows? Aliens.
No, they don't.
Well, have you ever seen
They
that?
do not.
Yeah.
I never heard that. I don't want to
Stick
hear
up
that.
for me. Tell her. Yeah.
Yeah,
There was a little baby, and they're just sitting there going, licking their chops, And I'm like, how can you watch this? I got to get up. But I just happened to walk in the room the one day, and they were talking about it on the news.
They're called deep fakes. Deep fakes.
They're all over.
They're
among us.
Yeah, they have
along
Obama.
with the alien,
they have Trump and
mixed breed humans.
Yeah.
So we talked about the fact that aliens have come down and they are impregnating us.
Some people believe.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. And then they take over your brain. And then they suck the baby out and they put it in these tubes or whatever, and they raise the baby, and it's half alien and half human. And there was another thing on TV about this.
Did you see this? I was wondering.
There's a whole
I thought the
thing.
conversation stopped a certain part, but then you just kept going. I hadn't heard all that.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I've heard,
So they're
similar
teaching
things.
them to have mannerisms of humans so they can come live among us instead of looking like the big, with the green.
The Greys.
And the big eyes.
Yeah, like the Greys. They look more.
The bug looking.
And once they live amongst us, what?
They're going to take us over. Some people believe that they're here to better our race.
Mm-hmm.
And take
Optimistic.
us to another level.
Right.
And some believe that once they've won the trust and they've learned everything, they're just going to kill us.
Well, people think that about AI too, artificial intelligence. That
Yeah.
it's going to going to go one way or the other. Like
They're
it's either
gonna
going
kill
to,
us.
well, it's either going to better
Well, have
things
you ever
like.
watched that not Bill, what is it? What is his name? Where
I
he
have no
has the
idea.
robot that he doesn't trust, and then all the robots start trying to
Will
kill
Smith
off Will
with,
Smith. There it is.
Yeah, there's
What's
a few
the name
movies
of that
like
movie?
that.
I can't think
I,
of it.
Robot?
Maybe.
There's a couple movies like that. There's one called Ex Machina, which is all about.
He always comes up with the weirdest.
Oh
names
yeah,
and word
that's.
names.
I think it's on Netflix. That's worth watching too. It's the same thing. They do a Turing test on this robot, which is basically to see if it can convince another human that it's a human or that it has human feelings, and everything gets all up in that one too.
Yeah.
So, it never goes well. It's not
a good
So
thing,
going
then.
back to we've gone so full. So going back to the
Circle.
conspiracy coffee. So maybe that you said okay, well it wasn't a direct influence, but
I've always but I mean, how could you not remember that?
Right.
And I tell you, we've grown up in the age of what do you want to say? Not enlightenment, but obviously
distrust.
Technology has put everything out there.
Right.
And we grew up in the age of where it was fashionable and okay to question everything, question your government.
Yeah.
Of course, that depends on what side of the spectrum. It's never okay when you're on the opposite end of the political spectrum to question. But so I grew up in that era. So I started reading. Like everybody else and reading about conspiracies. It's always an interest. It doesn't mean that you buy into everything,
Sure.
but it's interesting.
Well,
it's
yeah.
interesting to wonder.
It tweaks your brain, even if after you're all done and you do the research and you go, no, the conspiracy part of it is strong enough to make you want to read the whole entire thing to create an opinion.
We were talking about that last time. What you just said is that with the internet, with just access to all this information, you suddenly have, even if it is something way far out that you don't believe, you still have access to the other side of the argument.
Sure.
So, yeah.
And so you spend time. You can lose track of time actually reading about all of that stuff.
Call it falling down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, it's so fun. It's more fun if you don't take it so serious.
Yeah, I was going to say, as long as you're semi-sane and it doesn't go to where you...
I think what it is you can't let it ruin your life. Even because I subscribe to some things that are terrifying. Like I don't want to get into everything right now, but when you still can't let it run your life. You still have to live your life. You can't go hide. You can't be that woman you told me about who now wears like a brain protector.
She wears the brain, and there's thousands of those hats out there.
Yeah, but that's
thousands.
She might not be crazy, but she's letting it control her life, and that's where the problem.
She's scared,
right? She's scared.
Yeah,
but if I had an encounter like that, I don't know at the age of 12. Well, and we're going to talk about spirit.
Yeah.
Can we promise next time it's spirit talk?
Spirit talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have to go there for just a split second because I started seeing spirit when I was probably about 5, and it scares the crap out of you. I'm not gonna lie. Until you get mature enough and have pleasant experiences. I can't even imagine if I would have seen the last spirit that I have been around when I was little.
So how?
Because that would have scared the crap out of me.
Let me pose this question then. How do you deal with that fear? The fear of maybe there's aliens out there, maybe there's ghosts. How do you not become the person that wears the tinfoil hat?
It's affected my life severely. Things have happened to me where I've seen things, and it changes who you are, and it comes to a point where you don't tell a lot of people because then you get that.
Unless you're on the radio.
Nowadays,
but how do you not live in fear of it? Is what I'm saying. You just have to accept it and accept it as a part of your life.
The last one that I seen scared the crap out of me.
Right.
I mean, scared the crap out of me.
But
I'm not gonna lie.
But you're here today. You're not locked away
here.
with.
You know what? For me, it is we've already discussed that I believe in God. The end is the end, and my day is not my day to choose, and I live my life as full as I possibly can. And if it's aliens that are going to chop my head off or whatever, the end is the end is the end. I could get killed pulling out the parking lot
it's
today.
acceptance is what you're saying.
It's acceptance, and and if I have another experience, hopefully it's a good one, a positive one. I've had many.
Hopefully it's here. Hopefully it happens right in this room.
I've never felt anything, but next time we're gonna have to bring Christy in sometime. She's a spirit believer.
Yeah,
so.
well, maybe we can get. I know she had like a EVP, or she had some kind of ghost detector.
She has a thing on her phone.
We'll bring that in here.
So I'm skeptical of that. I'm not gonna lie, but I think, to be honest with you, that I really believe that we are the norm. I believe that more people on this earth believe in something they have never seen before, or like aliens or whatever, because there's a huge amount of us that believe in God and none of us have seen him. There's a huge amount of people that believe in spirit and ghosts. There's a huge amount of people that believe in aliens or space and have believed those things. And I say to myself, where's that it's got to come from somewhere. And we talked about the fact that if we can go and take pictures billions of light years away, well, come on. They're here too. And who thought of the pyramid? She's
obsessed with the pyramid. Yeah.
I'm obsessed with the pyramid thing.
Well, it's fascinating.
The blocks are as big as this room.
You just brought up an interesting fact, though, that relates back to the name of your coffee company. So I agree with you. I think we're in the majority. The people who question things and think there's more out there and everything like that.
Yeah.
But we've been trained. Conspiracy theorist has a negative connotation. If someone believes in something,
I don't know why.
I don't know if it's disinformation or people, you're not supposed to question stuff. So, they're conspiracy theorists.
Think you're supposed to question
things. But everyone does. So
everybody does, and that's the thing. It's neither. If you just have some fun with it, and just have enough wherewithal to say, like, everybody does it. Everybody has them. It doesn't. Good Lord, I mean, you see what's going on today and the political culture.
Mm-hmm.
It's a matter of who's in power, and the other, as soon as somebody else is in power, and then the other side starts hypothesizing about the conspiracy. And so you don't have to take it to the bank, so to speak, but it's cool to like investigate and be fun and have some fun with it. And really, that's really where I'm at with the coffee thing. Even as much as I love reading that stuff, like I said, you can just spend time going down the rabbit hole, as you said, and really like looking into that stuff. And mostly it's fun, and mostly it is for me. I have faith in the conspiracies that they exist. They're on every level. They've been with us forever since the beginning. Right. I mean, one of the guys I've been reading here lately, it's it could be looked at, I guess, as conspiratorial type stuff that has to do with the Old Testament, and I mean that's going back thousands of years. So but with me, it doesn't have to be any more than the coffee conspiracy. The idea that we're conspiring, if you will, if you take it so serious that you can't have fun with it, then with what I'm doing, it's just conspiring with other people to get better coffee in their hands.
So you're having fun with it, and that's important.
That's cool. Important. It's fun.
When it comes to politics too, I was thinking while you were saying that, like I not only do I enjoy it too, when Michele does, we enjoy talking about this stuff. Also, like, I just don't believe either side. So no matter who's in power or whatever, I just assume it's a conspiracy, man. And I'm going to live no matter what.
Yeah, that's right. Keep on going.
It's just like that says, we have to have fun with our life.
Mm-hmm.
Just live.
Can't live in fear.
Don't be so serious. Right. And you have a right to your beliefs and what you see and feel, and you do and I do. And I've seen spirit, he's seen space shuttles, and you've been abducted. So
I'm sure there's more stories too. We're going to get into lots of stuff on the podcast, Into the Light.
I want to talk about his wife for a second.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Right. I was gonna.
So he can play with the coffee all he wants, but I go for the food.
Oh,
okay,
boy.
The food and the pastries. So, because I don't drink coffee, but Thad made the smart decision to bring his wife into business with him.
Yeah.
Very smart on
I
your
feel like
part.
we're coming full circle because when you guys walked in, there was all this swinging talk. And,
I know.
Now we're back to
sling.
Oh,
Have you seen that TV commercial?
See, I heard
Where they go,
swinging,
"You
and I.
sling?
Yeah.
Oh,
Sling?
okay.
What comes sling?
I just walked in half of a conversation. So.
No,
Yeah, that was
I
her.
would hug and
Yeah,
kiss
I
him,
assumed
so,
it was
yeah.
her. Believe me.
Oh, okay. Throw me under the bus. Anyways, the pastries are amazing. She made some great cookies. There's like scones and I don't even know. Like I have to stay away from it because I'm putting a bathing suit on next week. But I'll tell you, when I went down, I think it was early summer, and she had an amazing strawberry berry tossed salad. Oh my
sounds delicious.
God.
Yeah,
I gotta say
she's-
too, for people who aren't from around here, if they're coming through Tioga County through northern,
you gotta check
you gotta
it out.
stop in Mansfield.
Yeah.
You know, it's a
really.
small,
Stop
nice
at Mansfield.
little cafe style. Of course, there's a really cool Bigfoot wall hanging. We're going to call it the Bigfoot corner for our sister stations. It's got a really cool industrial / country / I don't know.
It's industrial.
Industrial.
It's
Industrial
country
feel.
industrial.
And it's got our cool placemats that we do
Oh, yeah.
here. And
Yeah.
I already talked about the little conspiracy newspaper
Yeah,
things in the baskets.
Yeah, that's
It's just got a
cool.
really cool vibe. And I've ate there numerous times, and the food is phenomenal.
Well,
and
I need
the
to go
price
there
is
and
excellent.
trade in this unnamed
Yeah.
coffee
Yes.
for some
We're
good coffee.
we're new, and I'm not afraid to admit that. You know, we're still trying to figure everything out. But our menu is different. It's different than anybody else, and it's something that my wife's worked hard at in order to get us where we're
I'm
at.
surprised he's not, pudgy.
Oh yeah, thank you.
She's a good cook.
Yeah.
You're making me
she
hungry
is-
just talking
she is
about
great.
I know. I haven't ate lunch today.
I'm readjusting getting used to not like trying everything. That's a part of the being the business.
yeah.
I need to get back to where I'm just trying the coffee.
Yeah.
That's next on my list. Well, we wanted to thank you for coming in today and for the sponsorship, Conspiracy Coffee.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We're going to have more episodes. We'll have Thad back sometime. and
Spirit. We're going to talk about spirit.
We're going to talk about spirits next time. So if you're new to the podcast, you can listen to the audio on SoundCloud / SoundCloud.com/ Into the Light podcast and on our Facebook page on Facebook. Look us up on Facebook and our YouTube page. I was going to say Into the Light with Ryan and Michelle on
Go
YouTube.
in and comment. Give us if
subscribe. Tell us some
about
stories.
Being abducted, UFOs, and if you want to
Everybody's got
drop
'em.
some lines, to talk about the spirit. Tell me your stories, but
Yeah.
I'm telling you what, we're going in the spirit world next pod.
Yeah, so we'll see you next week. And as always, thanks for listening. We'll see you.
Later.